guys. Figured I'd go live while I'm up here in my room. I know it's been a hot minute since the last time I went live. I know. I think the last time I was live was whenever I was having my yard sales, and that took it out of me. Yeah. So I cleaned up my room the other day, so I'm happy for that. But now I'm trying to clean my resin cup because my large one that I had to get rid of it, throw it away, because I cleaned it and sprayed it so many times that it just, after a while, they just wear out. So this is what I have left. I have one of the plastic cups left with the measurements on it, but yeah. Trying to save that until I absolutely have to have it. Come on in and talk to me, guys. I see one thumbs up. Come on in and say hi. I don't bite. Goga, hello, sweetheart. How are you? Thank you for coming in. It's Rosa. Hello, how are you? Thank you for coming in, honey. How are you guys doing today? I am just up here. I need to redo BOK's cutting board that she got from me. I should have known better not to put glitter in her cutting board because she absolutely hates glitter. But I thought I could get away with it because, you know, once it's in resin, it don't go nowhere. But she's the one that is buying it and paying for it, so you have to make the customer happy. And she does not like the glitter on there, so I will more than gladly redo that for her. Love my hair. Well, thank you very much. Very much. So yeah, I was saying I'm in the middle of cleaning my next biggest resin cup right now, because my large one that I was using, I had to throw away. Because after you spray them with alcohol and clean them for so long, they kind of wear out. So, yes, customers must be kept happy. Yes. If it's just something I'm sending you as a gift, well, you kind of get what you get. But no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I want everybody to be happy with anything they get from me. I take great pride in my work and what I do. So I was just kidding whenever I said that. How was Mother's Day? Mother's Day was fantastic. Worked a little bit more than what I wanted to, but that's okay. You know, that's what mothers do, I guess. You know, we work no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's your birthday or Mother's Day, anything else. If something needs to be done, it needs to be done. So Got a little gnat flying around. I don't know where in the world he came from. Hello, Joshua. How are you? Elizabeth, thank you for coming in. Infinity Queen, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. No, we haven't. We've been getting a lot of rain around here, so we haven't really had much of a chance to be out on the bike. He was going to bring the bike to work today, actually. I don't know why he didn't. Because today's the only nice day for a few days. I think tomorrow we're supposed to get rain again. So there goes that. But yeah, we're down at the house. We're trying to get my dining room together. We haven't had a dining room in over 5 years. When we started collecting guitars and amps and speakers and all that kind of good, happy stuff. Oh, you guys getting a lot of rain too, Goga? Yeah, it seems to be everywhere right now. But when we started collecting a lot of instruments, it kind of took over our dining room. And I think he was figuring, oh, we'll just get a few and we'll be okay. You know, maybe we could have like a little music room type thing or whatever. Trying to get my hair back here out of my way. I don't need it falling in my resin whenever I'm doing it. But yeah, I think he figured that, you know, we'd have a nice little music room, and then the guitar collecting kind of got a little out of hand, and we are now up to roughly about 40 guitars, and that's not counting the keyboard that we have, the electric drum set that we have. What else do we have? We have quite a few, like, I think we've got a flute and a trumpet and, you know, just all kinds of different instruments. So it got a little bit out of hand, and it kind of took over the entire dining room. And our dining room is only so big. And so it kind of messed that whole idea up, because then we ended up with so many, it's how you said just 40. Well, at the rate he's going, it's going to keep climbing. So, you know, it is what it is. He is very good at, but I try to get people to understand, you know, I'm wherever you're from, if you know about life insurance, stuff like that, once you get to a certain age, especially when you've had health problems, do you do music, Melissa? Yes. Well, I don't play an instrument. I sing, but I don't play an instrument. And the singing, I don't do very well either. It is what it is. It's just something I enjoy doing. I know there's people out there that are a lot better than I am, but it's just something I like doing. So, all these instruments I have, I can't read a note of music to save my life at all. But, like I said, you know, music is something I enjoy. It's a passion that me and my husband both share. He mainly plays drums, or drums. Oh my goodness. He mainly plays bass guitar. Michael does, and but he can play a lot of different instruments. He can pick up on different things, you know, make them work somehow. I don't know how he does it, but I don't quite have that talent, so it is what it is. But I like collecting them because not only are they worth a lot of money, finish the thought of on life insurance. Yes, thank you, Goga. My mind tends to wander too much. Anyhow, each of the guitars that we have bought, it is stuff that, you know, my husband works, he's the manager of a music store. So it's whenever people bring older guitars in, things that, you know, they've kind of lost interest in playing or whatever, you know, and they have no interest in hanging on to them anymore, or what, you know, they'll bring them in and ask if we're interested in buying them. And my husband, being around guitars for so many years, has a very good eye on what's worth something or will be worth something in the future and what is not. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate it. But the guitars that we get them extremely cheap because it's stuff that people are wanting to get rid of. You know, and as he says, you would have to turn around and resell it anyhow. You know, so you're always going to get it cheaper than what it's actually worth. But what he's doing is he's kind of building up a stockpile. So, like, God forbid, you know, we all know that our day will come, that we go meet our Maker. When that day comes, being that we do not have life insurance, those are things that he knows are have a good value to them, so it's something that I will have to fall back on. And I think somebody asked me the other day, well, how do you know for sure that they will sell? Well, because, as I said, you know, he has a very good eye for what is valuable. So those are the ones that we buy. There are ones that he turns down because he knows that they're not really, you know, they're kind of what we call starter guitars, or just cheap things that people, you know, kind of strum on and learn, and, you know, they're not really worth much of anything. So yes, they are assets. They're something that, you know, the people that we deal with a lot of musical people. So they're things that we know I could probably sell pretty easy if I had to. So it's just a little something for me to fall back on, is the reason, you know, our biggest reason for having them. But being that we haven't had a dining room in over 5 years, and we realized we're never going to have a music room in there because it is so tiny. We just basically started putting all of the guitars in cases and stand them up against the wall. And we got my dining room table and chairs and everything back in there. And now I'm decorating, and I have a love for sunflowers. Sunflowers to me are an extremely happy flower. There's a little story about sunflowers. They say that, you know, whenever you see sunflowers, they're always pointing towards the sun. You see one behind me. A sunflower? Am I missing something? No, I don't think I have sunflower. But sunflowers always point towards the sun, and it's kind of a play on, you know, they point towards the sun, you know, God's son, Jesus. So yes, they are a very happy flower. And so I am decorating my, oh, the guitar, yes. Will you get a tablescape of your dining room? Love the outdoor. I can do that, yes. It'll probably, there's a good possibility it would be the same dishes. I can't afford to just keep buying dishes. I bought those all just for the tablescape. But yes, I absolutely love them. Yes, let me show you here. Sorry about this, guys. Give me just a second. Let me kind of turn you around and show you. I have guitars and music stuff, even up in my craft room. That's a clock that I did. If you guys, some of you guys might remember, I sent one of those to A-Train for his birthday. At the house, so yes, we have guitars up here too. So yeah, we have them kind of stacked up all over the place. Hello, Occupy. Thank you for coming in, honey. So yeah, guitars kind of take over our lives, and yeah, it is what it is. So we have them a little bit of everywhere. We had to start putting them up here because we ran out of room down at the house. So yeah, now it's just kind of keeping them out of the way right now. We still have to find, now you've seen a few of those have cases or bags that they go into. The guitar museum, it's what it feels like sometimes. But we need to find bags or cases for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 up here. 6, 7 if you count the 2 that's on the wall. 7 up here plus a bass violin. It was standing over there. We have to find bags or cases for those yet. Or I can just leave them hanging there. They're not bothering me any being up here, so I have no problem with them just sitting there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some of this poured. So I can redo BOK's cutting board. It's what happens too whenever you leave stuff sit for a while. You pour and kind of drips down the side. That's why I always try to make sure I keep plastic or a silicone mat, even a maybe a mold, a large mold that I'm not using, anything like that. I always try to keep my bottles sitting on stuff. That way it's not dripping all over the place, because as some of you may remember, this isn't my room. It's just one that they are kind enough to let me use, the Chamber of Commerce here in our town, because I work for them. I do cleaning for them. And so they were kind enough to allow me to use this room for an art room. And we have a young lady in the office next door to me that she started her own candle business. Be okay. Hello. Thank you for coming in, honey. How are you? Hello, Liz. Be okay. I am reworking on your cutting board, darling. We are going to get you one with no glitter. No glitter. Just as you requested. So I've got my mold over here on my little table, and made sure everything was all leveled out. So it's all good. So we will get this poured for you. Driving, but I am listening, so I will hear everything. Okay, that's great. That's great. I would rather you just listen and not pay attention to anything other than the road, because people drive like freaks anymore. I'm sorry. People can be a little crazy on the road sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. People leave a lot to be desired. So you do have to be very careful whenever you're out on the road. Without a doubt. Wanted to show you guys my new little gnome guy that I made. And he's so cute. He's so cute. This was the first one I made. His body's still kind of clear. I just thought I'd leave him more clear. I just thought they were so cute. You know me and gnomes, so thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's discuss her receipts. Who Be Okay's? Do you have receipts on Be Okay? Or you want to discuss my receipts? Oh, you guys, I have to tell you this. When I was working on my dining room table this morning, because it has been sitting over in, you know what, I might need just a little bit more of this one, because I think I went over just a hair on that second part. When I was working on my dining room table this morning, because it's been over in Michael's storage for a good while, a little over 5 years, the underside, our dining room table is like a bar table. And did I miss your chat? I probably did, honey. I'm sorry. I'm trying to pay attention to too many things. But you can repeat what you said. Hopefully I'll catch it this time. But our dining room table and chairs are a bar table. And so because of it sitting over in his storage for over 5 years, the underside of the leg of the table has rusted a little bit. So when we brought it over, we seen that. And so Michael got me some black spray paint and everything, and I put the leg on the table this morning, then covered the table with newspaper, and he said, you know, we want to repaint that so it doesn't leave rust marks or anything, you know, clean it up real good. We don't want to leave rust marks on the carpet. So, which, yeah, obviously. So, I had a wire brush, so I got some soap and water, blah, 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 and cleaned it up, scrubbed it up real good and everything. And he said, now, so you're not spraying the paint in the house and getting the fumes all over the place and everything. I have windows open and stuff and the fan going. And he said, just spray it into the cap, and it, you know, of course you spray enough and then you get the liquid. And he said, just use a paintbrush and paint it on the spots that need to be covered. I was saying I didn't know computer controlled fireworks are a thing. I don't know nothing about it. I just go and watch them, which I very seldom ever do that anymore. But, so I had everything all covered and got the cap to the spray paint, and I didn't think I pressed it that hard, and I went and pressed the top to spray paint into the cap, as he said, and it splattered and it went all over me. I had it on my face. I had it black spots clear up my arm. I had it on my feet. It was crazy. And so, of course, I leave that sit and run into the bathroom, and I'm scrubbing it off with cleaner stuff that we have. And so, yeah, it was a huge mess. It was horrible, horrible mess. So I learned real quick, I've never been very good at spray painting. Be okay, you definitely have a talent at that, lady, because me and spray painting, not good, not good. It's really not. I am quite dangerous with a spray paint can, and I honestly can't believe that he, left it there for me to do it. Because he knows me and spray painting do not coincide very well. And, he didn't tell me spray it real gentle and do it outside. Thank goodness I had some good newspaper laying down to cover everything, because, yeah, I was covered. And Kevin took off behind the couch because Mama was yelling some pretty choice words after it happened, because I wasn't expecting it to happen, and I was just a mess. And I think I scared the tar out of him. I do believe I scared the tar out of him. So, poor dog. So he took off running behind the couch to hide from Mommy. And it was a good while before he came back out. So, yeah, I learned very quickly how to spray it very gently. But, yeah, I'll post some pictures on my community page of yesterday. I took our ceiling fan completely apart. Kevin's always being dramatic. Yeah, I know. He is definitely the drama king. Me and Michael were outside with him last night, and we were talking about, we have some stray neighborhood cats that tend to want to come around sometimes. And, as long as they're not within his reach, we don't worry about it. He did get loose one time and was running around after a cat, and finally the cat got tired of running, and the cat turned around and swatted Kevin's nose, and he comes back to the house and, doing his little puppy whine like, Mommy, he hit me, Well, leave him alone. This is his neighborhood too. So, yeah, we just laugh at him. But we were talking last night, now that he's older, he was quite young when that happened. Now that he's older, we were talking about just how far he would go to chase a cat, or if he would actually remember that cat swatting his nose and just leave them alone. He would be far better off, because believe me, the stray cats that we have around our neighborhood are very large and they get very nasty. Good thing you're not the multicolored Melissa. Yeah, I did run in and clean that off right away, because that was just a mess that I didn't want drying on me. For sure. But I was saying, I will post some pictures later. A couple of, I think, Miri, hello, love. Thank you for coming in. Mary has seen pictures of it. How my dining room ceiling fan. I'm like obsessed over, like I was saying, the sunflowers. And so I have been decorating everything with sunflowers. And I redid my fan yesterday. And I actually have a table covering. It's kind of like a tablecloth type thing, but it stretches. So it's a pretty snug fit. And I have that coming. It's supposed to be here by Thursday, I hope. And it looks like wood grain, and it has sunflowers and butterflies on it. It's really pretty. I can't wait to show you guys all that. But yeah, I will post pictures on my community page of the ceiling fan. What are you making today, hon? Well, right now I am redoing BOK's cutting board, because when I made it with glitter, and I know she hates glitter. I am very sorry. You know, I am sorry. I know, there was something else I sent her. Oh, the tray that I made her had glitter in it. And she mentioned the glitter, but she liked the tray that I gave her. But this is something that she bought and paid for, so I want to know for sure that she is completely and totally happy with it. So that is a very, very big thing to me, to make sure that my customers are happy with their items. So we are redoing this. Give me 1 second here so I can get this all out of here. But I just kind of want to let you guys know too, I am actually going to be starting another project and just trying it out. I've seen a couple, the sunflower table decoration was absolutely stunning. Thank you, Liz. I appreciate it. You have a unique tower fan, Joshua? Yeah, we have a ceiling fan and we have some small box fans, tiny little apartment. You ain't got a whole lot of room for stuff. But we do what we can with our area. But I should have my lines marked and I don't. I'm sorry, guys. What was I saying? Oh, the new project. Anyhow, I have been like obsessed over these sun catchers with the little diamond things in them, and it reflects the sun. Looks like rainbows all over the place. I have been like obsessed over these things, and they're absolutely gorgeous. And I'm not saying I'm not going to continue to do my resin stuff, because I am. But you know me, I come across something new and I have to at least try it out. So that's just, I'm going to try that out. I got a bunch of the little diamond pearls and everything like that, yeah. And then I also got, let me show you guys here just a second. my daughter had this, and the bottom of it has come apart. So I need to take that apart down here. I think the screw just, or the bolt, whatever, the nut came off of it. And I thought it was such a cute little lamp. But this here, this cage here, is actually what I've seen a lot of them do the sun catchers on. And so this will probably be my first one that I try. Once I get that stabilized there so it's not going anywhere. And just kind of see how difficult it is. And work on that. That will be a sun catcher. And then I also found these, which is supposed to be a lampshade. But this is one of the things too, different things like this that people are using to make the sun catchers with. So I've got a couple of those that I found at the Goodwill store, or at a thrift store, wasn't the Goodwill. And then I also found this one here that I absolutely fell in love with, that I thought I would turn into a sun catcher as well. I don't know if I want to do it this way or maybe turn it around and hang it this way. But yeah, just a few ideas, and then I do have, I think somewhere, it's probably over in my storage, I think I do have other lampshades that I'm not using, and I will probably turn those, you know, if these turn out okay. I'll probably end up turning those into sun catchers as well. So that's just thought I'd let you know, that's my next little project that I am going to try my hand at. I always see all these things, and you know, they just absolutely fascinate me, and I've got to give them a shot. So I love how you do your eyeliner. It looks good on you. Well, thank you. Thank you. I don't wear a whole lot of makeup. Some of you have probably seen me without it. I'm not one of those people that really care whether I have it on or not. But there are those days that, you know, you know that you look rather old without it. My eyes look very tired whenever I don't have something on. So there are days, especially when I, know I'm coming up here and I'm going to go live, I want to look at least presentable. Like I made the comment when I was on Goga's live, that I try to, when I'm in the public eye, I try to present myself at least halfway decent, because I believe I am a reflection of Michael, and Michael is a reflection of me, and so I always try to make sure I look decent. I don't want somebody looking at Michael and saying, "What are you doing to her?" It's just our viewpoint of it. So yeah, I don't wear it all the time. I do have my days, which I'm sure everybody does, that you're tired, and I do have my I don't care what I look like. If you don't like how I look, don't look at me days. But I think everybody has those. So, and it's not being mean. It's just, you you have to have those days, I think, where you just don't need to make the big fuss over things. And you know, I can blame it on age and say, you know, I'm old. You know, that's just the way I look because I'm old. That's not an excuse. It's really not an excuse, and I don't like that I allow myself to think that way. But we have those days, so it is what it is. You know, you just want to sit in front of the TV and, you know, have a glass of milk and some cookies and maybe a plate of vegetables on the side, I don't know, and not really do much of anything. We get tired sometimes, and that's just what happens. So, but as I said, I do try to, at least when I know I'm going to be in the public eye, at least make myself presentable to people. Let me get this. Do I want to pour that in yet or not? Give me 1 second, guys. I'm kind of seeing some little bubbles that's not wanting to come up and cooperate with me here. Not trying to ignore you guys, just give me a second here. If you don't get rid of your bubbles now, you're going to have them later, and it's not going to look so pretty. All right, I think we got them now. And as I've told you guys before, alcohol, rubbing alcohol, best thing, unless you want to run a torch over it or a lighter or something like that. To me, alcohol, 90% or above, is the best thing in the world for getting rid of bubbles. Wonga lady, thank you for coming in, honey. How are you, darling? So now that I've just took care of the bubbles and dispersed of those, let's see if we can get an open hole here. Be okay? Your hole is not wanting to open up, darling. I know that don't sound too good, but we are having some hole issues here. We will get it figured out. I promise. We will get it figured out. I know doggone well. I had that whole thing level. And for some reason it's still wanting to run to the one side. Let me check here. Nope, that's level. And that's level. Okay. Maybe I'm just looking at it wrong. When I said to Melissa before, I am blind and I am autistic, yes. So, guys, BOK's hole is not wanting to open up very well here. So we are going to try to open it ourselves. Be okay, I promise. If this one doesn't turn out, I'll do it again. They will sell, so you will get exactly what you want. I promise you that. I have no problem making a few of them until I get the right thing. So I have no problem with that. Okay, we'll let that all settle good and see what we get out of it. That's the one good thing about doing resin stuff is you don't mind if you mess up, because sometimes they're small enough boo-boos and you can sell it to somebody that wasn't specifically asking for it. So even if you mess up, somebody's going to want it. So yeah, we're going to give that a while just to kind of sit there and do its thing. Do its thing. Oh, and I wanted to show you guys something else. Since that's really all about all the resin stuff I was going to do today. I'll let those just sit and dry. You guys know me. Once it's dry, it's a whole lot easier to clean than trying to wipe it all out whenever it's a mess. Natcha, hello beautiful. How are you, darling? How are you doing today? Now I got, still sticky. I don't like it. I got, what do they call those? Track lights? LED lights? Yeah. I got a couple sets of those. And I got plastic racetracks. Like little boys use for their little mini cars. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those together, and once I get everything together that I need for it, I will probably do a video so you guys can see it. I still have several of the plastic rods that I've used for, in a chair in the booty. The plastic rods like this. I will spray paint these. Of course, I'll sand them first so the spray paint sticks. And I will spray paint those. And I will also spray paint the racetrack and hook it onto that. And I'm going to make kind of a lamp or light with it. Be okay. I hope you like it. I think you'll like it. It's pretty groovy. Pretty groovy. So yeah, just letting you guys know that that's something that's going to be coming up too. I'm going to try that. And I have enough stuff, I think, to at least make a couple of them. So hopefully I will be getting those going. And then let me show you this. When we last went to the thrift store, Michael found this beautiful little box, wooden box. And of course it's kind of old and beat up. So I am going to be sanding all that off and redoing the whole thing. It has really beautiful, I don't know if you guys can see it, maybe a little bit there. Really beautiful etchings on the front of it there. So yeah, it's just a little wooden box. Not sure what I'm going to use it for though, but I'm sure I'll figure out something. But he would like to see me like sand all that down and redo the whole thing and put something a little bit up to date and nicer on this. So that will be another thing that I will be working on. Trying to think of any other little projects that I have going. Oh, let me grab this one. He also found, this is kind of an interesting one. He found this for me at the thrift store. Now I'm hoping that when I soak this in hot water, or I think hot water should do it, that will hopefully soften this wood, so I can kind of get these apart, because they are several little branches. But I just thought it was just the coolest looking little thing. And we will see what we're going to make with this. I don't know yet. You guys can message me if you got any little ideas with this little branch. Like I said, I'm hoping these soften some. That way I can move them away from each other, kind of get them apart, hopefully without breaking them. So yeah, that's another little thing that we found. Always finding all kinds of fun stuff like that. Okay, who am I missing? Miss Anna Boo. Hello, how are you, darling? Thank you for coming in, honey. I'm just over here just gabbing away. I'm sorry. I'm just talking 100 miles an hour, not really paying a whole lot of attention. You guys know me well enough to know how my brain works. It just everywhere. So, oh, and I have, I did do this. This is out of resin. This is kind of the base of it, the top of it there, and it all strings together. And you have, of course, I could have done the birds in different color, but I had a lot of black left over. But I can figure out how to maybe color the birds in a little bit. And they are supposed to be a little wind chime type thing. So yeah, we've got that going on too. I tried making a wind chime before, and I don't know, it just didn't want to go like I wanted it to go. But, you know, I don't like giving up on things until I've exhausted all possibilities. So I will give it another shot and see maybe what we can do with it. Yeah, I think that's about all I've got going on right now, except for the dining room, obviously. So this is what, Tuesday? This Tuesday? How was your guys' weekend? Anybody have anything fun or interesting going on for your weekend? How many blind people have you met who are autistic as well, Liz? Hello, Annaboo, lash me beat. Miss Annaboo. I can't sing it like BOK does, Annaboo. I'm sorry. She has a talent all her own that I just don't have. I'm not saying I can't sing, but she definitely has a talent with coming up with tunes. So, yeah. Nobody gonna tell me about a weekend? You guys didn't have anything interesting, fun going on over the weekend? Sunday was Mother's Day. Did anybody have a really good Mother's Day? Did anybody get some really nice or outlandish gifts or anything for Mother's Day? I only seen one of my children for Mother's Day, which is okay because, you know, they're mothers too, and they go and do their thing. We kind of deal with that as our children get older, but we're okay with that. You get used to it. One of my daughters came down to see me, and she brought me some flowers, and brought me she's my oldest daughter, and she makes homemade cheesecakes, and she knows that cherry cheesecake is our absolute favorite. But cheesecake can tend to have a lot of sugar in it, and so she did find a way to make it sugar-free. So she did make us a homemade sugar-free cherry cheesecake, which was absolutely phenomenal. And so she brought that down for me, which I absolutely love. But she, you know, I'm sure a lot of you guys know what marigolds are, and that's the flower that she brought me down, which I'm okay with. I like all kinds of flowers. I think calla lilies and sunflowers are my two favorite. Those are on the top of my list. But I like marigolds as well. And so we set the marigolds outside, and Kevin now has become absolutely obsessed with the marigold flowers. He walks over to them, and he has to kind of stand up a little bit to reach them where they're at, but he will sit up on his hind haunches there and kind of, you know, move his head around and sniff at it. It's just like he sits up long enough to sniff the flowers. And that's Kevin for you, though. Just like Goga said, he can be a bit dramatic with things. Yeah, he can. But yeah, he is rather obsessed now over the marigolds. So, yeah, he likes smelling them. I've never seen him literally sit and smell flowers before, so this is kind of a new one for us. But I don't think I've ever bought marigolds before, so maybe just because it's a new smell for him. Kevin is so lovely and cute but spoiled. Yeah, he is very spoiled. But I'm sure, I think I've said it before. When we were younger, we used to laugh at older people that made such a big fuss over their pets. And, we're like, it's just an animal. How can you treat it, spoil it so much? Well, now that all of our children, what dog is Kevin? Kevin is a Yorkie. But now that all of our children are gone out of the house, and basically Kevin's all we have in our home, that's kind of like a child for us. That's our child. That's kind of how we view them. So now that we are older and we have Kevin, we understand now how those people treated their pets the way they do. Because we talk to Kevin just like a regular child, like you would talk to a child. We spoil Kevin just like we would a child. The only thing that does not happen is when the grandkids come down, Kevin is not put over the grandkids because when all is said and done, he's still a dog. He's an animal, and we don't put the safety of an animal over a child, if that makes sense. So in that sense, the grandchildren or a child of any kind will always come first. But other than that, yes, then Kevin is right up there on the list, and he is very spoiled. He is. This morning he got bacon for breakfast, so he was very happy with that. Daddy makes it for him and then puts it on Mommy's plate with my breakfast, and when he brings it in to me, then I toss one piece at a time down to Kevin so he gets his bacon. We try not to give it to him all at once because we've seen him literally make himself sick scarfing stuff down too fast. So we know we have to be like, with certain things, bacon and chicken. Chicken is another one of his top favorites, and he will eat and eat and eat and eat and eat until he makes himself sick. So we have to be a little bit more cautious with how much we give him. We have to kind of cut him off sometimes. So we do try to be a little bit more careful with that. In the beginning we did mess up a few times. What dog is Kevin, Mary? Joshua, didn't you hear me, honey? Kevin's our dog. That's our little puppy. And he's a Yorkshire Terrier. He's a little Yorkie. But yes, Mary is right. He is extremely spoiled. You know, when we go out to eat, and my husband will literally bring him something home to eat because he feels bad because we got to go out to eat and Kevin didn't. Kevin had to stay home. So Michael feels bad about that. So Michael will actually usually order him, you know, or he'll have me order an extra cheeseburger or something like that, and we bring it home just for Kevin. So, if that doesn't qualify for being spoiled, I don't know what does. Yeah. Boy, I don't know if I dripped somewhere, but I am just getting sticky spots everywhere. There we go. Hopefully I got it all now. So, before I get started actually on the sun catchers, I have to go and get all of my beads and everything down. That's the word I was looking for. What food is safe for a dog like Kevin? Pretty much anything. If, of course, you know, you have your things that you don't give them. You don't give a dog garlic. You don't give a dog onions. You don't give a dog chocolate, although Kevin does get a little bit of chocolate, but, you know, that's one of those things that they said, you know, you have to give a dog a very large amount of chocolate for it to actually do anything to them. Very large. I mean, they would have to, like, literally sit and eat, like, a pound of chocolate for it to actually do anything to them. So it's not like, you know, but it's the same thing with us, you know. We have to be rather cautious with how much of anything we eat. So it's really no different. But Kevin is the breed of dog that Kevin is. Kevin does a lot better on people food than he does on dog food. So a lot of, ever since we got Kevin at 5 weeks old, Kevin has always ate. No, I shouldn't say that. When we first got Kevin at 5 weeks old, of course, he was just on formula or milk. Then we started introducing him to very soft puppy food. But then as he got older, it was becoming harder and harder for us to find dog food of any kind that he would even eat. So I did some research and found out that they are better with fresh vegetables, certain fruits that they're allowed to have. There's some fruits that you're not supposed to give a dog, like citrus fruits. Citrus fruits are very hard on their stomachs and can do a lot of damage, so you got to be careful with that. But Kevin gets a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables along with meats. You know, Kevin pretty much eats whatever we eat, so. And then we, you know, whenever we spice our food while we're cooking it, we are very cautious how much we put on whatever portion Kevin's going to get. And if it's something all in one pan, we set a little aside for Kevin before we put all the spices and everything in it. But Kevin is, you know, Kevin has had some pretty spicy food throughout his life, you know, that because that's what we eat and he's used to it. So it doesn't really seem to bother him any. We've never had spices of any kind really do anything to him. So, yeah, he gets a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables and meats, and that's just what he does better on. But yeah, as I was saying with the sun catchers, I have to go through all of my beads and everything and get stuff sorted out. Oh, thank you for the flowers, Mary. Thank you, love. I appreciate it. I really do. Kevin is family, Melissa. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Um, you know, we are kind of particular about a lot of people that we're around. That's just how we are. I don't know if it's an old people thing or if it's just an us thing. I'll be around about anybody, but like I said on Goga's Live, I am very particular about, you know, if I tell you that I love you or I care for you, understand that that is with every fiber of my being, because I am very particular about where love goes. If I've told you that, it's because you have touched a place in my heart that deserves that. So, yeah, that's just how I am. So, you know, we're kind of how do I want to say it? We're quiet people. We don't do a lot of drama in our home or anything like that. I wonder if Kevin is afraid of loud certain noises. The only loud noises that Kevin doesn't like is semi trucks, garbage trucks, hates trucks altogether. I don't know why. Trucks of any kind Kevin despises. He will flip out on you and bark his head off. And then thunderstorms. Kevin is not a big fan of thunderstorms. Thank goodness we do not live very close to where they set off fireworks during that time of year. He can hear them off at a distance, but as long as we have the doors and windows closed, he's usually okay. So because he can't hear them very loudly if we have everything closed up, so it doesn't seem to bother him quite so much. If we happen to be outside when they're going off, yes, he will hear them and he will bark for a while until we take him inside. But thank goodness that's just a once a year thing. So that's not a big deal. But thunderstorms are definitely something that we have to deal with. He doesn't like the thunder. I don't know if it scares him or what it is, but every time we have thunderstorms, yes, we go through the whole barking thing until the thunderstorm kind of calms down a little bit, and then he'll calm down. We went up to a couple towns away the other day, and actually on Mother's Day, and we were going to go to the store, and Michael was going to find something for me for Mother's Day or let me pick something out. And we took Kevin with us because Kevin is a registered support animal. So Kevin is allowed to pretty much go anywhere with us. About the only place we don't take Kevin with us is the grocery store. Or no, he goes to the grocery store with us. Restaurants. When we go out to eat somewhere, we don't take him in restaurants. Anywhere else, whether it's grocery store or any other kind of store, doctor's office, anything, Kevin goes with us. Uh, he is pretty good at that. Um, Never had any major problems with him or anything. He is very friendly to everybody. Kevin just loves everybody to a fault sometimes. Uh, we want him to at least be a little bit cautious of people because, you know, you don't know people sometimes, and we just don't want him to run up to just anybody. But it happens sometimes. So, uh, other than that, I think that's about the only loud noises that really bother Kevin is uh, trucks and thunderstorms, fireworks once a year, if he even hears them. So, other than that, yeah, we don't have a whole lot of problems with Kevin. Kevin gets bored very easily. Uh, and of course, at my age, I only have so much energy to do things. And so I can only go for so long, and then um, I get very tired. And the more tired I get, then it kind of goes back to me having dizzy spells again. So I have to be very cautious about allowing myself to get overly tired. Can you take a dog to a Disney theme park, or they can't allow that? You can take a dog if it's a registered dog. There's really nowhere that they can stop you from taking a dog if it's registered support animal of any kind. Um, that's just how the law is. I know there's people that'll fight you on that, but they can't stop you from taking a registered animal into anywhere. If you have to take an animal into a grocery store or restaurant or something like that, they definitely must be very well behaved, um, because you can't have them just running around all over the place, because yes, there is food in there, and you have to keep the dog clean. Kevin stays very clean. Uh, he gets baths on a regular basis and is groomed quite often. So there are things that you have to take into consideration when you have a dog registered. You have to put as much care into them as they do taking care of you. So, and it does seem like Kevin senses when I'm having a rough day. So, you know, he seems to be a little bit more calm on those days, which helps me out tremendously because, you know, like I said, if I allow myself to get overly tired, I tend to still have some dizzy spells from back when I had my accident. So, Kevin seems to be able to sense that with me. So, he seems to be a little bit more quiet those days, which helps me out a great deal. So, but yes, I think I have pretty much done here what I can do, and I am so glad for all of you that came in and talked to me. And I think I am going to go ahead and let you guys go. And I'm going to probably head back home so I can check on my table and see if there's anything else I need to do down there. I might go through a few of my beads and stuff before I go, but see what I can use. Make sure I think I have plenty of wire and everything to get started on the sun catchers. So, you know me, I'll probably end up doing one before I video it so I don't look like a complete idiot. I doubt it if Kevin can handle big fireworks at the finale at night. Here are bunches of fireworks. Yeah, Kevin wouldn't do well with that at all. we don't even take Kevin around here for small fireworks. We try to keep him in a place where he doesn't hear that loud noise because we know it bothers him and it will set him off. So I think I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. And like I said, I'm probably going to go through some of my beads and stuff, see what I have there that I can use to do my first sun catcher. And yeah. But I do thank you guys all for coming in and talking, and I'm sorry for messages that I've missed. I need to definitely work on that. Paying a little bit more attention to here, paying a little more attention to what you guys are saying or asking. And I do apologize for that. I will work on getting better at that. Usually when I come live with you guys, I'm usually doing my resin stuff or working on something, and you know, it kind of takes your attention away. Your attention gets focused somewhere else. So I need to do lives more often, and I think I need to do them where I'm not really working on anything. That way I can just sit and talk to you guys and not paying attention everywhere else. So I will definitely work on that and focus a little bit more here instead of out there doing stuff. So, but I do thank you guys all for coming in, for taking your time and sitting here talking to me. I appreciate that. So I will let you guys go, and you guys have a wonderful day and take care of yourselves.